podcast, where we want you to know God more deeply, find lasting freedom, discover your destiny, and make an eternal difference. Now,
well, here we are in the More Podcast Studios, hidden somewhere on the grounds of Harbor Light. We don't even know
That's
where
right.
it's at. We get blindfolded and brought in here. We have no idea where we're at. That noise you're hearing behind us is our jet engine that we have back here trying to keep us cool.
Yeah, right. It's our shipping container.
Yeah, I'm like,
we live in it.
We don't know what to do to keep it cool in here.
Container.
I think
that's
no
a
air
good
conditioning.
first step.
Yeah, this will work.
Yeah. It's not super bad today, but it was roasting last week.
Oh, man, last week it was like a sweatshop in here.
Yep.
I was like, oh.
And you and I are built similar in that we're like wear more clothes kind of people.
Yeah,
you know?
right. Because it's out of necessity, not.
Right. It's just, there's a lot of fabric going on. So
we just want to cover up as much as possible so that, it hides it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we do, pretty good, I guess.
Right.
I don't know. One thing you do, you show off your legs in the summer. I tend not to.
So I have a rule that you will never see Ted Polly show up to Harbor Light Church Sunday morning in shorts.
Right, yeah.
You will not see that.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
And I think it's a musician thing, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Guys who wear cargo shorts on stage playing music, you're the dorkiest guy alive.
Yeah, right.
Do not do that.
Although I will say the only ones that could get away with it is the Grateful Dead because they would do that.
That's the whole vibe, right?
Yeah.
We're going to hacky sack after or whatever.
Right, yeah.
You need some cargo shorts to carry your
Everybody
hacky
else,
sack.
no.
Not at all. Don't do it.
I'm not into the trend now with bands where they get up there and they're like, no shirt, that kind of stuff. I'm like, have some decency, Put some clothes on while you're playing. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw a band. They're kind of fun. Like the stuff that I grew up in high school is sort of like, everyone's making a comeback, right?
Yeah.
And it's like this new band of young guys, but one of the dudes is not in shape.
Oh,
and he's like without his shirt, and it's a very like almost ironic. Like, hey, I'm up here with a guitar, very out of shape. And
I look good.
Warped Tour, so like thousands of kids, and
right.
That's a bad look, man. Just wear a black t-shirt.
He doesn't care,
bro.
He does not care.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. That and tattoos. When you're getting to a certain size, tattoos don't seem that cool anymore after a while. It's more like you're a billboard. Huh?
Oh, sure. Yeah. But I think where you have the tattoos also.
Right, yeah. But, when you get into a certain size, it's not really a cool thing anymore.
It's like your stomach or something.
I know. I see those guys that get the ones around their belly button. And I'm like, why?
That's such a bad look.
Why? A sun.
All right, yeah.
Or, yeah.
So Eloise is kind of fun because she just turned 16 and has a car and all kinds of new freedom, and that's sort of a new stage of life for us. And she was talking about she's interested in a tattoo.
Is she really?
Yeah, and she's like, Dad, would you let me get a tattoo? I'm like, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, let's do it right now. And she's like, that is a very different response from the rest of the adults. And it's funny because then I go into like joke dad mode. I'm like, as long as it's on the neck or the face, that's the first one, then you can get it.
Yeah, right. She's like,
she wants some like dainty, cute little 16-year-old girl
on her ankle or something.
Right, exactly. Not like it's got to be on your neck.
Yeah. Well, that's when my kids wanted to get tattoos before they were, because we lived in a state where you had to get them at 18.
Yeah. You could sign a thing or something?
You could, yeah. But I'm like, okay, yeah. So I was getting a tattoo at that time, and I'm like, come with me and you can see how it looks. And they sat with me for a couple hours that I was in there, and they're like,
they said no go.
No, I don't want. I'm like,
would you have let them? At 16?
I guess I'm that kind of parent that it would not bother me.
Yeah.
But I've been trying to get my wife to get one for 30 years we've been married.
She got one.
And she goes to a fourth world country and gets one in Ethiopia.
Everyone's like, Amy comes home, and we're like, Amy, let's get your blood work done.
I know, it's like hepatitis. We got to do the whole thing here.
But it looks good.
It looks good, but I'm like, what was it? Like in a barn with the goats hanging out with you? What was going on there? She's like, no, it was like in a real one like you would see in the United States. I'm like, that's hard to believe.
Yeah.
In Ethiopia.
Yeah.
She's like, it was all good.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. And then now she said when she goes back, she's going to get more done.
In Ethiopia?
In Ethiopia, yeah.
Okay.
Because she can get a tattoo.
Oh, it's a deal.
Yeah, it's like $30 there.
Uh-huh.
Where, Carson got a tattoo before he left for his mission trip. and that was like $250.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And I'm like, dang. And I was talking to the guy because I was wanting to get some more work done, and he's like, yeah. He goes, what you want to do is it's probably about $500-$600. I'm like, forget that.
Yeah. I do have some thoughts on getting some, and I'm like, some more, and I'm like, the adult in me comes out of like, you need to pay your property tax.
Yeah, right. No, that's the thing. It's like, I don't know. Well, I have this one in my arm. I've had it forever, like probably 25 years, and it's starting to fade. And I was like, I wanted
you wanted to like spruce it up a little bit.
He's like, yeah, we can do that.
We have all our worship team members that are getting cool tattoos right now too, and so I have a little envy.
Oh, what they're doing?
Yeah, I'm like,
I know.
Okay. But you shouldn't get a tattoo because everyone else does.
That's right, yeah.
Don't do that.
Well, that was the rumor going around with Amy is like, if you go on a mission trip with her, she's going to force you to get a tattoo. And because Mary Louise was with him. It's not true. Yeah, it's not true. Mary Louise was with him, and
she get one?
She almost did.
No way.
She almost
really?
did. I'm like, what is she, like 83?
So awesome.
And she's going to get a tattoo. So she was.
What was she going to get?
I don't know.
Like
they were looking at a bunch of stuff. Amy was trying to talk her into a butterfly.
Like a lightning bolt with a skull in front of it. The rose.
Wouldn't that be awesome? She's getting like a
snake,
skull with
a snake like wrapped around a knife.
Yeah, right. There you go. She's like,
awesome.
I don't know what my grandkids would say. I'm like, they think you're the coolest thing ever.
Your grandkids would love you, Mary Louise.
Oh
Even
my
more.
gosh, they would.
The sweetest lady in the world, getting like.
She might get one when she goes back. I mean, she wants to go back with Amy to
tattoos.
Ethiopia, and she might get one. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm like, just get one in the United States where we have standards, health standards.
I was this close to getting one while we were in Greece.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Did you find a tattoo
I
place?
did,
Yeah.
and I just couldn't find the time to do it. It was a good deal. It wasn't a good deal. It was the right price because it was like tourist spots. So it was not cheap, but it wasn't like crazy expensive. And it was the guy knew what he's doing clearly, and I just couldn't find the time to get away.
See that? Yeah. Once you gotta just talk to Amy next time you go there.
Yeah.
Just say I want to do it.
I know. I just felt like I want to be a team player and not like, hey guys, I'm gonna peace out for 3 hours and
I'll be back in a while.
Right.
I don't think anybody would mind.
Yeah.
I told Amy, I said the next tattoo I definitely want to get is all the names of my family.
Oh, cool.
And their birth date.
Okay.
So that when I get Alzheimer's, I have a reference. She's like, shut up. I'm like, yeah, I just want to be able to look at my arm and go, you must be
right. It's like a
Parker.
cheat sheet.
Yeah, you must be Parker.
Blue eyes, blonde hair.
I said I'll even put my anniversary date on there just so I know.
That'd be good.
Yeah, I'm working on it. Okay, do you ever wonder why you take the time each week to listen to more podcasts? I'll tell you why. More stands for maximizing opportunities for right now and eternity. So stop asking why you listen. Just never forget to listen and pass that on.
Don't ever forget to do it. I just have to say, like, the podcast just is one of the highlights of my week. It's so fun.
I have to. I listen to it just to make sure that everything sounds okay. And I'm like, we said that. We actually had that conversation about diapers and farts, and the list goes on.
Yep. I always like doing the highlights with my kids because they don't want to listen to the whole thing. But I was like, Theo, you got to listen to this part. You get a shout out about the Joey Chestnut.
Oh, yeah.
And running 100 yards. I think he would have told the story better than me, but it was pretty fun.
Well, you did a good job, though.
Thanks,
man. We are empty 2 seats today.
Yep.
Rebecca Moore is with her mother on her birthday, so shout out.
Yeah, happy birthday, Tamara.
Happy birthday, Tamara, and have fun doing whatever you're going to do on this birthday day. Yeah. And then Pastor Gary, he's on vacation for a couple weeks here.
Good job, PG and LK.
Getting out there and having a good time. Yep. And here we are. We're just holding down.
We were joking that this could get sideways real quick with me and you.
I think it's possible. We got to really kind of like help each other stay in, like, coloring the lines.
Can we talk about the coils that are underneath the pyramids now?
Yeah.
Can we talk about the different theories about Sasquatch being an interstellar transportation? It goes through portals. Nephilim.
The Nephilim. What did you think of that trailer I sent you?
It looks really fun.
It's going to be done all by AI.
Yeah, which I don't love that part, but like it does look very fun.
I was looking at that studio that's doing it, and they're like, we can do anything that they can do in Hollywood, but better.
I get it. I just think that this guy that I've been listening to, he talks about just being an artist and how like we should kind of like fight against that. Not kind of. He is very adamant of like humans need to make stuff, not.
Yeah. You know, well, I mean, think about like the guy was saying. He says we can make an entire blockbuster movie.
Right. It can cost way
for
less.
like $10,000.
Yeah, right.
And he says we're not paying any actors, so all the money. And so basically what they're talking about is they're gonna start crowdfunding certain movies, and so you as a viewer can make money off of it. But they're trying this first one to see how it takes off. And
I think the subject matter, man. The Nephilim thing is never been more popular.
I'm just surprised that a secular company is putting that out.
I hope they do a good job. I hope they're I'm sure
there's gonna be a lot of mysticism in it. Stuff that's not like biblical.
Yep.
But it'll be cool to see how the take on it. But I was just looking at that trailer and I'm like, this is like legit.
Yeah.
I mean,
it looks really good.
I didn't see anything in there going, that's kind of corny.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But I was telling Amy, because I showed her the trailer too, and I'm like, they're doing that with Star Wars now. The studio that they've done all their new movies and stuff with is this humongous circular studio that's all like green screen video and all stuff. And so they can actually do a live screen of the scenery they want behind something while they're acting, instead of, actors, pretend like you're here in a desert,
Sure.
They can see it. And so then they just add a few components that make it look real, but everything else is digital.
Dude, we just had AJ bought a green screen for $300, and Harbor Light News is going to be all green screen now.
That's going to be cool.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like within 30 seconds of him plugging the video in, he just grabs a template filter thing and throws it on there, and it's unbelievable.
And Pastor Gary, when I first came out and we were doing green screen stuff for some of the videos for a small group, the problem is getting that border between you and the green screen to look good, look natural.
Yep.
And that's always a problem. And now
it's gotten better.
With the AI stuff I saw AJ was using, I mean, you don't even know it's there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was struggling. We were doing it, and it's, again, it's just like a 2-minute news thing, but like you got to get the lighting right of like, there's got to be some light in the back, so it doesn't feel like you're totally separate from the thing. But it won't just look like Microsoft PowerPoint.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
it won't. It'll look really sharp. So
it looks pretty good.
Yeah,
I don't know. Last week's Harbor Light News, I was liking that mushroom thing. That was pretty cool.
mushroom.
Where he starts it out and it's the intro, and then there's this red light going around. Tapping on the mushrooms.
Right, isn't that cool?
Yeah, that was cool.
I mean, AJ's killing it over there.
That was good.
He's doing a lot of fun stuff.
Well, this episode is brought to you by Pickle Toothpaste. Yes, you heard me right. There's a toothpaste made with pickle flavoring. Are your pearly whites feeling a little bland, tired of boring minty freshness that just doesn't cut the brine? No pun intended. Introducing Pickle Flavor Toothpaste, the only dental hygiene product that says, I'm fresh, but also kind of a big deal.
Dill, D-I-L-L.
Yeah, whether you're brushing for your date night at the pickleball court or just trying to get the last pickle seed out of your molars, this gag gift is a tangy twist in your morning routine never asked for. Perfect for lovers of all things green and garlicky, people who think dill belongs in everything, and anyone who wants their dentist to be deeply confused. Warning: side effects may include sudden cravings for fried food, impulse purchases at the farmer's market, and involuntary puckering. It's just $9.99. You should buy a tube of this for your dad. Being a dentist.
Pickle flavored toothpaste.
That would be a great gag gift for your dad.
It would be.
Like, here you go.
Right, Pops?
Yeah. Look what's coming out now. Yeah.
Is this for you?
I don't know. I'm thinking about it. It'd be kind of fun. I don't like, I'm not a big, I like pickles, but I don't know if I want to brush my teeth with pickled stuff.
I think pickled stuff is really popular right now. People are pickling everything.
Oh, yeah.
But I think also like that combo of just straight dill and garlic is a pretty tough one to beat.
Yeah, and then just to wake your mouth up with that in the morning, I think that'd be...
Yeah, I'm not dying for that. My toothpaste.
I know.
I've been in... I told everyone about that grill I got, and 4th of July I got a pretty good deal on that Blackstone. It's the Weber Blackstone. But I've been making some fun food, man.
Did you really?
Yeah, and it's just super fun I've learned that's part of my love language of like, I like to cook for my people,
Yeah.
Like that's a lot of fun. And have you ever seen those memes that are like when dad makes any food and he's like, kids, get over here.
Yeah.
This is the best buffalo chicken wrap you've ever seen.
Like
anytime I make something, I'm like, guys, this is the best thing ever. I need to start a YouTube channel
Yeah,
for
right.
single dads, how to cook. You know, I'm like changing my career here because I, made grilled cheeses on the Blackstone.
You could, man. Can you? Yeah, get your camera up there. Everything you make on your Blackstone.
Not everyone needs to share everything that's going on. In
ASMR, sizzle stuff.
Right.
It's funny because when Nate and Dana bought their Blackstone, they literally lived on smash burgers for the entire summer.
But the thing is,
they love that thing.
Yeah, you can. I mean, smash burgers are great, but like the cool thing is you can do everything on it.
Yeah, you can do anything you want.
You can do pancakes. You can do all kinds of breakfast stuff.
Yeah.
Like fajitas are really fun. I do think, again, I know it's been said over and over, the flat top grill over the charcoal grill all day, every day for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Tom Dale bought one a couple summers ago.
Yeah.
He's the first one I saw with him. And he made like gumbo.
Sure.
All summer.
Yep.
So,
I did fried rice on mine the other night. Yeah.
Yeah, you can do all kinds of stuff.
We did like
kind of feel like you're at Benny Haas.
Yeah, right. Right.
What do you want? I'll give you something. Here's some shrimp. You can do the whole thing, man. Get the hat.
Yeah,
Get the hat
I can
and
make
the
a
apron.
little onion smoke tower thing.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Flaming volcano. Start flying shrimp around. You want some of these? Here you go.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't have anyone else here to look sideways at as you do.
My wife will freak out at that. Yeah. Oh my gosh! So we can do our own.
All right, let's go.
Okay, here we go. He once tried to launch a Christian jazz fusion interpretive dance team called Psalms in Motion. It lasted exactly one rehearsal because tambourines were outlawed. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Pastor Ted.
Hey man, thanks.
Yeah.
Jazz fusion, Christian jazz fusion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder what that would be.
You might have to read one from the other one because
we got it. And we got this guy over here.
Okay, here we go.
Who absolutely is a master of all things systematic theology and Star Wars references.
Yeah.
Pastor Alex.
And they merge.
They so do.
They
yes,
merge.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that in the lore of nerddom, what is the best series that hints at the gospel message the best?
See, that's what I'm thinking. I've always thought Star Wars does it the
better
best.
than the big one.
The Lord of the Rings?
Yes.
Yeah. Because the Lord of the Rings.
Why?
Because the Lord of the Rings ties in all this mythical stuff like the elves.
Yeah.
And
it's all proper. Like that is historical stuff.
And it's all it's mythological in that. Yeah, because
you get lost in the mythological.
Yeah, I think for me I do. Because that kind of stuff, Saruman and all that stuff is great because you got to have evil components in there. But
the ring.
Yeah. When you start talking about Star Wars, I know they can get really weird with the Force and stuff, but there's so much possibility for theological reference with that. But I will say, honestly, what comes second to me is the Matrix series.
Yeah, who were the guys that did that? It was two brothers.
Something
Duffers?
No,
those are the guys who do Stranger Things.
Kazi brothers.
Yeah, but something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
No, that is that'd be
the close second for
movie,
me.
Like Neo is Neo.
Neo, yeah.
Neo is like literally
new man.
Right, and it's like the image of him on a cross like that. At the end
of
that thing is like, okay, we know what they're hinting at.
Hello.
Here. Yeah.
Well, I told you this already that the lady who wrote that book.
Yeah.
She said it was supposed to be.
Yeah, I remember this.
An introduction to Christianity.
Yeah.
And so she also did the Terminator.
Oh.
So she said those two actually intertwine.
Really?
The way she wrote them were supposed to be intertwined.
Okay. Yeah, when I was in high school, there was, I wish I could remember her name. She was local. The Walking with Frodo devotional book came out.
Are you kidding me?
No, it was a thing. It was like a youth group thing.
Walking with Frodo.
What is her name? Sarah something. Her dad was my pastor at the youth group I went to, but Sarah Arthur, I think.
Okay.
She may have a connection to Harbor Light, but it was Walking with Frodo. And it was, a devotional based on. And it was like every youth group in the world read it, and it was
yeah.
I don't remember anything from it.
Oh,
I remember the book title or the cover.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's. I
mean,
good.
clearly, Tolkien was a Christian, and he. All the stories of him leading C.S. Lewis to the Lord, and
It's good stuff. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
The one thing, my favorite story about Tolkien and C.S. Lewis, and it was a general from the Salvation Army. They used to get together, one of the leaders of the Salvation Army, they used to get together in one of the local pubs and talk theology.
Inklings.
Is that what? Okay. And they would have warm beer.
Yep.
And they would sit there for hours with their Bibles talking about Jesus. And I'm like, that just is a perfect scene for me.
Yeah, man.
All the way around.
Yep.
I mean, what better way, to spend a day
Yep.
talking about like theological stuff with some of the greatest minds of theology.
Super creative guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would just love to be a fly on the wall.
Oh, man.
Sitting there for hours.
And and C.S. Lewis's story was one of a long conversion.
Yeah.
It was Christians involved in his life. It wasn't this, I went to this service and they dimmed the lights and I prayed the prayer. Right. It wasn't that. It was.
Well, he was religious. I mean, he was a very devout religious thinker, but then all of a sudden he actually got introduced to Jesus.
Yeah.
And it changed his whole thought process. And when you read him, G.K. Chesterton is another one. Yeah. One of my favorite authors to read. He's a Catholic writer, but he is an amazing theologian. I have some of his books. They're really. I would not recommend them for anybody to read if you were going to fall asleep.
Yeah. Did Chesterton? Is it orthodoxy? Is that his?
Orthodoxy is his big one. It's kind of like Mere Christianity, but the Catholic perspective.
I read that.
And it's good.
Chesterton's great.
Yeah. I think I have some copies of that in my office. But, G.K. Chesterton is probably a very heavy academic writer.
Yep.
C.S. Lewis tried to make it more palatable for an average person to read. And then Tolkien was more in the mythical.
Yeah. I was just talking to Rachel and Eloise the other day. Is it The Great Divorce? Is that the book where Lewis writes about heaven and hell, and it's hell? It's the image of hell being earth, like an ever expanding city, and there's like a bus that goes back and forth between heaven and hell.
I haven't read it in a long time.
Yeah,
so
it's so good, and because we were talking about kind of the age old questions of does God send or not send people to hell, right? The predestination thing, and the idea that he just hammers home of this idea of free will of you always have the opportunity to not choose, right?
Yeah.
And the weight of being in the presence of the Lord. He has such a great creative way of explaining that in that book.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's super profound, and like it gives you, I think when artistic meets theological mind, those things combined, it's really helpful for the Christian because it maybe gives us pictures or images that we can't come up with of ourselves. So these great big biblical concepts of heaven and hell. Well,
and that's the thing, it's very hard to put some of those things in words. That's always been the church's problem, is trying to figure out how do we put these things in words. And
that's why the artists have been so important, especially in turn of the century stuff of Christian art has been so important.
Visualize,
show us. This is what it looks like.
I'm not an opposition to iconography that you see in churches. I don't really have a problem with that. I don't worship it or anything, but it is beautiful, and it's unfortunate where it's kind of like for me sometimes. Evangelicals could be like some of the libs when they're trying to tear down history. Right. You don't need to do that. Nope. It's an important part of visualizing things. It doesn't mean you're worshiping it. But,
and a picture of how in that time those folks maybe saw it, and that doesn't make it gospel truth.
No, it does help you out. Yeah. All right, we're going to take an ID break and come back with an interesting story that I picked off the web. We'll talk about it here. It's kind of funny.
Chesterton to ground squirrels in North Dakota.
Yeah, we're going to...
We're covering all the bases.
We're covering all the bases. We'll be right back.
Oh, don't go nowhere. More podcasts, there's more to say. Get your feet moving. Get up from your office desk and start jiggling it. Yes, let's do this. You're on the More Podcast. We'll be right back.
Well, apparently ground squirrels are overrunning the North Dakota city of Minot, North Dakota. A population of 50,000 people is now facing a squirrel population that's outgrowing them.
Squirrels are very destructive.
Yeah, and that's what they're saying is that they're coming in and destroying property. Countless Richardson's ground squirrels. I didn't know that was
A type?
Type, yeah. Are burrowing all over town. Halifax City News, California officials say that the rodent population has increased by more than 20 times over the past 20 years and may now rival the human population in number. So you got 50,000 people in Minot, and there's more squirrels. The city's pest control expert is trapping thousands of squirrels annually, but admits it's like one guy standing against a massive storm.
Oh, boy.
You know, is that mentioned in like end times prophecy of the squirrel attack? Locust.
It's one of the plagues.
Yeah,
right.
I thought it was locust, but so the horde is growing. Predators like coyotes and owls usually keep these critters in check on the prairie, but in town, the squirrels have free reign, and they're more than they can handle. I mean, it's kind of like a
smarter.
Yeah, they're
heading to town.
They're coming together.
Let's get out of these woods, folks. We're suburbanite squirrels now.
We're hanging out.
No predators in town. Huh? How do you fix it?
I don't know. I mean,
we need the critter commander on this one.
We need
Dave
the critter commander on this.
Dave, let's go.
I mean, what do you do? Like let go of a massive amount of coyotes to clean it up, and then I don't know.
A pellet gun in every household.
You know, this would be funny because I know like. Who is it? Lisa Kay. She will shoot them on sight.
Yeah.
She's got her pellet gun. Kim Meyer.
Really?
Oh yeah. She's got a targeting. I mean, she's got a scope and everything.
Why?
Well, her house is like cedar wood.
Oh,
and
sure.
So they come and want to eat on her house.
Yep. No, that's a
so
no-go.
she takes them out.
Uh-huh.
And then Lisa Kay just doesn't like them around the house because they eat like food and stuff.
Yep.
So yeah, just take them out.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's I think the only thing you can do. I mean, how are you going to trap that many squirrels?
There's no doing this humanely.
And they're breeding like rabbits.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We need to take these things out.
Yeah.
With force.
Well, what was it in New York? Didn't they? I mean, I remember I was reading something about history. Yeah, the rats, and they started bringing in cats from all over the country, and they're just these feral cats are just running around the city. To try to kill the cats were trying to kill the rats. Yeah,
gross. The cats are just
right. And then what do you do with all the cats? Because they're going to have babies, and then you got more cats.
I think with the squirrel thing, it does feel like there's just not enough natural predators, right? Like
they do, but they're not enough.
Town.
They're not enough to do it, and they're not going into the town because they're scared of people.
Yeah,
I say, this is what I say. I say
pellet guns for every home.
Pellet guns, yeah. Well, and then get some. Well, you know who kills those little predators is little chihuahuas.
Really?
Yeah. You know, a
ground squirrel?
Well, they kill mice and rats.
Huh.
When sailors were going on a boat, they would take those.
Oh, yeah.
Like a chihuahua type or a little Scotty.
Yep.
Whatever those called. And they would have them on the boat just to do that.
But it sounds like they'd be doing that all day long.
Well, yeah, it's like a gold corral there. I mean, it's like get all you can get, you know. It's a buffet. And then what are you going to do? You got dead squirrels everywhere because they don't eat them necessarily. You just kill them.
I know people who eat squirrels.
Oh, we got some people in our church that do.
We live in northern Michigan.
Oh, yeah.
We just need to send some of our great northern folks down to South
Go down there with an army of pellet guns.
That's right.
Why, though? I mean,
I had a kid in my youth group who would slow cooker squirrels, and he would make gloves out of their pellets. Yeah. Yeah.
That's just like a next level. Like, why?
Yeah. Grant Oliver, shout out. He might listen to this. He made gloves, and he was like, it took a lot. Like, to get squirrels are not a lot of meat, right?
Yeah.
I was like, how do you make gloves? And he's just kind of like a survivalist type guy, right?
Why though? Go to the store and buy them.
They're really nice. He's like, they feel really nice, and squirrel is really tasty.
No.
I would say.
Have you tried it?
No, I did not eat it. But
no,
I would say. I mean, they're just eating nuts and stuff, right? So it's probably pretty healthy meat. There's not a lot of fat on a squirrel.
I couldn't do it.
No,
I can't do it. I don't know. There's people here that like swear by it. Like, oh my God, you get some squirrel, you love it.
I just think that again. I know my way around the kitchen.
Chicken. Yeah.
Like, you got to add a lot of fat back to that meat to make it taste good.
Right.
It's nothing.
It's like to me, it would be like the worst part of the chicken.
Yeah, it'd be like
gummy.
Yeah, jerky, but no flavor because it's just no fat.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah, not me.
I don't know. I would say, kill them, throw them in a landfill.
Yeah.
Get rid of them.
That's an interesting problem to have.
Okay, I will say this. This is hilarious. The other day I was out picking up my dog's business outside, and a squirrel was dead.
Uh-huh.
It looked like it tried to eat my dog's business.
Okay.
And it ate it, and then like
it killed him.
It's like dead. Gosh. And so it's laying there with the
what a way to go
with the business in his paws. Like it was too much. Like
gross.
It was, yeah, and I'm like, what is in the dog food that we're feeding your dogs? Because this squirrel went down fast.
This is the answer right here to this problem.
Give them dog food.
Get that dog food down to
whip it
North
out.
Dakota.
Let them take it. Yeah,
yep.
That's a good idea. I didn't even think about it. We should write them and say, listen,
hey,
I buy dog food from the Dollar General, and this stuff kills squirrels. It just did in my yard. So maybe you should do that. Yeah.
Don't clean up your dog's poop.
Don't do it.
And then just let the squirrels come eat it. Gross. But let's kill these squirrels.
It works. It works. Yeah. We're taking an ID break, and guess what we're coming back with? We got a prize drawing today on the Wheel of Destiny by Wilson Insurance. And Pastor Ted's warm up his fingers even now. Oh, yeah. He's ready to go. And we have a very special prize we'll talk to you about in just a second.
You're tuned into More Podcast, where we talk a lot, but somehow it's still worth listening to. Stay with us for more laughs and good vibes.
All right, well, here we are with Bible Trivia, and we are drawing the prize today for, let me get it here. Look at this bad boy.
Oh, yeah.
Bacon Band-Aids.
Yeah.
These are pretty cool. This side has the actual picture of it, but it looks like a piece of bacon, doesn't it?
It does. Does it say made in Canada?
Does it say
Are they made in Canada? How awesome is that? Oh, no. Designed in the USA.
Made in China.
Yeah, I'm sure. Trademark of,
Taiwan or Vietnam or.
Made in PRC.
That's got to be People's Republic of China.
I would guess. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay, right on.
So there you go.
Very cool bacon Band-Aids.
Tear-free.
If you have little kids,
they love this.
They will love it.
And if you're
grandkids,
if you're
neighborhood
good
kids
at putting these on, you can make them think of the smell. You're like, that smells like Band-Aid. It smells like
know
a
what you do
bacon.
is you put a little bit of your bacon grease into some coconut oil and spray that on you. Melt it down in a pot. We're
gonna heal your boo boo with bacon grease, and then we're gonna put the bacon Band-Aid on it. And it's gonna be great.
The neighborhood dogs will love you.
They won't leave you alone.
Four-legged friends.
But just think about it. If you win this, you will be
a big deal.
Yeah, this is a big deal. It took me a long time to find these, and I finally found them. All right, but if you want to be a part,
new names on the board.
We do have some new names on the board. We also had quite a few people answer the questions this month. But if you want to be a part of it next time, it's HarborLightBibleTrivia@gmail.com, HarborLightBibleTrivia@gmail.com, all lowercase. And Pastor Ted.
I'm spinning. Let's
Here we go. Let's do it.
It's Mary. Just kidding. It is Mary.
No.
Oh, my gosh. It's Mandy.
Mandy.
All right,
that was
Mandy.
so close though to Mary
that was
again.
Super. I was joking, and I was like, okay.
Oh my gosh, Mary!
It's always Mary.
Yeah,
Mandy. Let's go, Mandy Garber.
I don't care where
Is it Mandy Garber?
It's Mandy Garber. Yeah, I don't know where you put Mary's name on here, but it always comes back to her.
I'll do it again. I know we've done this before, but
let's see what happens here.
Mandy's got some bacon something coming her way. Yeah. Okay, we're all right.
Yeah, we're good.
Alan wins a lot too.
Okay, yeah.
He's got a lunch with Pastor.
Yeah, he's still waiting for his Scallywags lunch. So Mandy wins bacon Band-Aids.
Nice, good job, Mandy.
Yeah, all right. But if you want to be a part of this, just when we do the question, we
can't win if you don't play.
Yeah, we don't have a question this week.
No,
we don't, because our guru of questions is gone.
Yeah.
But we'll have a question for you next week. You just send it to HarborLightBibleTrivia@gmail.com, HarborLightBibleTrivia@gmail.com, all lowercase, and let us know the answer. Last week was the one with Google the how many times Red Sea is mentioned outside of Exodus. I had some various answers. I don't know. What did you find on Google?
I don't know. I didn't look it up.
I had some people say 14 and had one person say 21. And most of them were in between the two numbers.
Well, and I wonder, is the answer have to be exactly the Red Sea, or is it talking about the Exodus story, or the?
I thought he said something about it was got to be the Red Sea.
Okay.
So I don't know. I'm like, I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't either.
It mentioned that many times outside of the Bible. So it was up to Google.
Yeah.
Or whatever you use to find that stuff. So we took them. We took all of them.
Yeah.
Because I think it's debatable depending on what translation. If you use like the amplified version,
sure,
it's probably like 45, 50, somewhere around there. So we're taking an ID break. Come back with Bible talk for today.
I know you thought, a church podcast. Boring. I hope by now you have realized that we are not normal. We wear weird on our sleeves 24/7. This is More Podcast. Let's have some fun.
Well, today's episode, we're going to feature a powerful word that's been resonating deeply with Pastor Alex Norton. A message that's not just timely, but timeless. Give me time to work. In a culture obsessed with instant results and constant motion, Pastor Alex challenges us to reconsider the spiritual value of waiting. His message takes listeners straight to the tension between our urgency and God's perfect timing. Drawing from Exodus 14, he unpacks what it means to stand when even everything in us wants to panic, and to trust that even in the silence, God is moving. This isn't just a great sermon, it's a prophetic call to every anxious heart it's a reminder that the divine delay are often the very soil where miracles take root. Join us as we talk with Pastor Alex about what inspired this message, how it resonates with people in all walks of life, and why trusting God's timing is more than just patience, it's spiritual warfare. So wherever you're listening from, take a deep breath. The breakthrough might not be instant, but it is in motion. And today's conversation might be just what you need to hear. Pastor Alex.
That was good.
Thanks, man. I struggle reading.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like just reading and out loud.
Yeah.
You know, I'll mess up words, but.
I do that too.
Yeah.
I used to, when I was in high school, I used to be like, I thought I was a very proficient reader.
Yeah.
And as I've gotten older, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I hear myself read now and I'm like, what are you?
Well, and just
second
to
grade?
talk. Yeah, just to talk is way easier.
Yeah.
For pastors, right? You're to be able to just like talk off cuff for hours, but
you should see my notes on Sundays when I preach. I have now learned to use PowerPoint because I can flip through slides.
Oh, sure.
Instead of sitting there scrolling. Yeah. And I have to have the words like at 32. They're like it's like 2 words on a page.
Sure.
It's like, okay, there you
that's
go.
Good. Yeah, man. No, I was just super thankful for your words on Sunday. It was really great.
Thanks,
yeah. So what's where'd this come from? Obviously, we're in this series, but the waiting piece for you. What maybe resonates with you personally? On
I think it was just that one verse, Exodus 14:14 was this idea of God kind of just saying stand still, right, and wait for Him to do it. I think the issue that I can read in there, and the phrase "give Him time," I think that's something that all of us struggle with in our daily walk, because I think, especially when we're in the midst of a struggle or crisis, one of the first things you want to do is we want to react, want to make things happen quick, or we want to alleviate what the stress is or whatever it may be, and we rush into stuff, and guns blazing, everything happening. And we put ourselves in a worse position than we were before.
Yeah.
Instead of letting God work through it. And I'll tell you, this is a lesson that I've had to go over in my life many, many, many times. Because my natural response, at least for me in life, is if something's broke, people are hurting, my wife's in tears, or my kids, need something, I don't even wait to pray. I don't even need to wait on God. Yeah, it's just immediate response, and I run into something, and I do the wrong thing. And a lot of times, at least in modern day terms, it's usually financial issues, right? You spend more money than you have.
Yep.
You get yourself into some sort of debt that you need to get into just because you think that's the better way. One of the more practical applications that I've had from my own experiences, I used to grow up in a family where we got leftover cars that barely ran.
Yeah.
And, so when I got married, I'm like, that's never going to happen, right?
Yeah.
And so I would go out of my way a lot of times to get a vehicle that we could not afford just because I knew I didn't want to have that problem. Right? I wanted to have something. And I would put ourselves in debt for no reason, and then we're like, we don't have any money. We can barely make our bills, we can barely do this. Or we would purchase things just because the kids thought they were cool and needed it or whatever. Again, that's all financial, but there are other things too, as far as emotional connection with your kids and family and your spouse. Is you kind of rush into to resolve things without waiting for God to do what He needs to do.
Yeah, why do you think that that's such a prevalent problem for us today?
Well, I think a lot of it is that we live in a culture where we have an immediacy issue, right? Everything is always about, I want it now. If I hear something, I want it now. I mean, and look at how the internet works against us, right? One of the things that's really bad right now, I've only done it a few times, but I see something on TikTok, right? I'm like, I got to get that.
Sure.
Well, I'm just one click away.
Sure.
To buying whatever it is, and then you get on there, and it's like, oh, it's only $30.
Yeah.
Well, it keeps adding up, but I mean, the whole idea of our world is immediacy, and I mentioned in the sermon, we live in this mindset where it's microwave, prayers, or praying for God to do something quick, and God's timeline a lot of times is a crockpot resolution and answer, and sometimes that is difficult for us to do because we don't take that time. Why do I want to wait 6 hours for the answer when I can do it in 2 seconds?
Yeah.
And so then we go to God with all this stuff, and the problem is God's timing is perfect. His end result is to get us to a place where it's going to be exactly the way we need to do it, so that we don't have to deal with all the other implications of our own stupidity.
Yeah.
I look at the story of the children at the Red Sea. I mean, if you look at the body of water, right? Why aren't we talking about building a raft? Why aren't we talking about, okay, everybody, grab something you can float on. Let's go out into the water. It wasn't like the Red Sea was necessarily a very fast-moving body of water like Mississippi or the Nile.
Right.
So, I mean, they would have maybe been able to make it that way, maybe. But that was not the plan. That was not the plan that God had. And the issue is that, if I would have been there, probably myself, I would have been like, you know what? Shoot, forget this, man. They're right behind us. Grab something to float on. Let's start trying to dogtail it across there and make it. And that's not going to work, in God's plan, because, as we learned from Pastor Gary in the first few weeks, is that whole scene was not really necessarily about us, is to understand God's glory in that situation, his concern, his protective plan for us, his love for us, and he was going to be glorified in it. And nothing we would have done in that scenario if we were there would have ever done any of those things. Plus, we probably would have been in bad shape. We probably would have done something really stupid.
Well, and I think that the thing that Pastor Gary said a couple of weeks ago was, I don't want to mess it up, but it's the rescue was the trap for the rescue for the Israelites was the trap for the Egyptians.
Right.
It's just such a God characteristic to, we say this, kind of that cliched statement of God's timing is perfect and ours is not. I'm reminded of Acts 2 when Jesus says to the disciples beforehand, before Acts 2, hey, wait on the Holy Spirit, wait on this one. And again, if it's me, I'm not waiting. I'm telling everybody. But what do? They're smarter than me, so they wait. And because of all the people that are drawn to Jerusalem for the festival that's happening, now the church has exploded.
Right.
And they hear the gospel in languages that they understand. And now the church is going to go out into the whole world because these Jewish people came to Jerusalem and heard the gospel preached from the disciples as they were speaking in another language, and then they go back to home to Asia Minor and to all over the Middle East and Africa, and now the church is global. And again, so God's timing, the point being, God's timing was perfect in that. Yeah. And God's timing for the rescue of the Israelites was perfect in that it got rid of their captors too. Right. And so I mean, again, it's like those. To me, this series is, it's those age-old Christian foundational beliefs, principles of, God will see you through hard things, even if you don't believe it, or God's timing is perfect. That's just so hard. We need to be reminded of them over and over and over again. Yeah. And it's hard to kind of have those things take root all the time in our hearts and our head.
Well, and too, usually when we come up with an idea, it's to save ourselves from whatever calamity we're dealing with. When God gets involved, a lot of times he validates our need for justice and what we're going through, right? Yeah. Which we were never gotten any other way, because we don't have the power, strength, or means to make that happen in a lot of situations. And when God gets involved, he actually he actually fulfills the promise better than we could ever hope for. Because like with the Egyptians, I mean, you know, maybe we would have gotten involved with them, or maybe, you know, maybe they did have some weapons. I don't know what they could have done. But no matter what they would have done, it would have never resolved the one thing that they needed was, you know, closure and God's justice to be made known in that situation. But he does that. He gives us that validation, that feeling of security and assurance. And we need that in those situations when we're going through problems. There have been times in my life where I've allowed God to do what he needed to do in my life. And, you know, the end result is way better because I come out smelling like a rose, you know, and the people that were the problem on the other end, they get what they were supposed to get to begin with because they were so disobedient. They didn't want to do it right. It's not because I did anything. It's because God does it, and he does it in the way he can do it. And I think that's, you know, sometimes you need that. I think that's the cry that we find in Revelation is that, you know, all of humanity is crying out for justice against evil. And when those things are dealt with in our own means, we only create more problems, right? I mean, our idea of justice is a nuke bomb, right? Drop a nuke bomb or get into war. God's justice is, I'm going to shut everything down and you're going to walk away unscathed and you're going to find what you need to get to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you ever mistaken God's silence for his absence?
Yeah, I mean, I would say so. I think that silence a lot of times seems like it's kind of like his answer, right?
Yep.
Like if he says you're praying for something, you're not getting an answer for a long time. It's like, I think your first knee-jerk reaction is like, well, that's a no. That's a no. We're not going to do that. But, you know, a lot of times I think that silence is a test. It's a test to see, are we going to be obedient to the last word we received? And I think you see that in like Abraham's life, right? He was given, God gave him an order, audibly gave him an order, said, this is what you got to do.
Yep.
And he didn't hear anything else for like 25 years, especially when it comes to his son, Isaac. He didn't have anything else after that. But he committed to that one thing. He lived on that one promise. You know, it's funny within the modern day church culture right now. It's like, it's kind of like we use God as like a GPS tracker. Right? Or it's like, you know, turn by turn. We need turn by turn on everything. And that's not how God works. God gives us the basis for how we operate from one point A to point B. And then you might not say anything for quite a while till we get to the point B or close to point B. And the only thing you have is what you've had before. Like, you know, it was funny because when my wife and I were in ministry with the Salvation Army, you know, and we decided at one point that we're done, we're going to move on. One of the questions was, a lot of times is like, you're stepping out of God's plan. Like, you know, where are you going next? You know, you're not going to be in ministry anymore. We're like, yeah, we are. You know, we know that we were called. That was the initial call. They were called to pastor and minister. The way that looks is not a problem whatsoever. It's still following that initial call by God, and it may just take on different names along the way. But I'm not changing. Yeah. Now, if I would have said, okay, you know what, I'm done. I'm going to go work at an insurance company, or whatever. I mean, that would have been a total divergence from where I was supposed to be. You know, and I think people sometimes mistakenly in the silence think that, oh my gosh, I'm out of the will of God because it's not the place that I started. Sure. It's not where it initially started. Now I'm in like a totally different part of the land, whatever. But are you still following the original call that God gave you?
Yeah, that's good.
Still finding that.
That's really good. I think, maybe another way to say that is, what are those foundational calls that God's put in your life? Yeah. You know, what are those things that, like, early in your faith, you knew this to be true? Can you go back and rest on that? Yeah. You know, when you're not hearing God speak so clear. So,
and I think all of us know that, though.
Yeah.
I think we all know that, because I've met guys that have been called to do something and they totally leave from that initial call to do something totally different, and they're desperate to get back to where they were before, or they're just not having a good time, realizing this is not where I'm supposed to be. Yeah. I think, honestly, in my opinion, I think God will always help you know the path to stay in his will, even though he's not like audibly saying something to you. You just know, and I think the witness of the Holy Spirit within our lives confirms that. It gives us that confirmation as we're moving forward that this is not a good thing for me to do. It's, you know, it's still silence in the sense that we're not like hearing like, okay, now do this. This is, but there's things that kind of seem to resonate with you. Like, this is not probably where I need to go.
Right.
My own life, I've seen those situations where I've kind of like, if I'm not doing this anymore, I guess I'll do something else and make it happen. And those are the times where I'm like, God does kind of like get into my business, and he's like, it's not where I've called you to go.
Yeah.
This is what you need to do. And you know what I told you to begin with. So stay in that lane.
Yep.
Don't try to veer off because it doesn't seem like the same way that it was before, or you're not seeing maybe all the results that you had before at one point. So those kind of things are part of the idea. Hey, Amy.
Hi, Amy. Does Amy want to come in? I texted her earlier.
Did you?
I was like, hey, it's just the two of us.
Yeah, I know. She had a meeting this morning.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, I was thinking about this next question of just this idea of passively and actively trusting God. What's the difference between that? And I think, it is that part of silence of, I do think I love this because I think of this series, I think of this topic specifically as disciple making, in that it's maturity. And so a mature Christian is able to go, this is a silent season for the Lord, and recognizing how God speaks, right? And so there will be times in your Christian life where you're hearing God really clear, and it's there's some real big steps and movement. And then there are some times in your life where the Lord, I believe this, where it's just what you just said, right? It's foundational call. It's what is the original design for Pastor Alex or whoever out there? And so being able to be active in your relationship with God when he's silent, are you seeking wise counsel? Are you someone who's in the Word daily, and are you allowing yourself to be silent before the Lord? Is super important. So I tell you a story real quick.
Yeah, do it.
So just yesterday, I'm not a big beach guy. I don't love going to the beach, but it's been just nuclear hot in northern Michigan, so we've gone to the beach the last 4 nights in a row. And we have this little dumpy beach by my house. It's on Lake Michigan, tons of rocks. You got to wear your tennis shoes in, but it's pretty secluded, and it's a pretty cool stretch of northern Michigan, Lake Michigan.
You're not gonna tell anybody where it's at,
right?
Yeah.
You got to be committed. Bugs, rocks, the whole deal. So so Eli and I are the only ones who make it down there last night. And Eli is a fish. That kid wants to be in the water all the time and splashing and loud. And I'll tell you what, man, the sun is just setting, and he's going nuts. There's some rocks sticking out of the water he's able to jump in and out of on. And I said, Eli, he goes, Dad, are you okay? And I said, Eli, can we just be quiet for just 1 second? And having a moment, he thought it was weird. Dad, are you okay? What's going on?
Yeah.
But just to have a moment of silence.
Yeah.
And a moment of resting in the presence of God's beauty and his character, of there's a son that is told what to do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That son follows the order of its creator. Yeah. That is a powerful and profound thing.
Yeah.
Right? And to see my child, I'm gonna get choked up talking about it, right?
Yeah, here you go.
See my child. See my child use his body in a way that it was designed to go, and to enjoy his neighborhood, and to enjoy the place that he's been placed in life. And to have that moment was a holy, sacred time of just saying, Lord, thank you. And it is that sense of, I don't need an answer from you, or I'm not asking anything from you. I just am enjoying your presence. And I think there's something about allowing ourselves space and time to get out of the mindset of asking or feeling and this is a problem for me, for people in ministry, I think in general. Don't say any more words.
Yeah.
Just say, Lord, speak, or Lord, I am just not even that. God, I'm just enjoying your presence. I'm not asking a thing from you, but I'm in relationship with you. And we ask a lot. We ask. But I do think at times in our life to just be able to set the ask aside and say, God, you are enough. Your presence is enough. This is what I need. I don't need any more from you other than just to be with you. I believe, a sign of Christian maturity and
I agree.
discipleship.
We like to talk, though. I mean,
we do.
We're
on a podcast because we like to.
Yeah, we like to. Yeah, but you get in those modes when you're in those situations, and you talk, and I think it's a lot of times just because that's the way you've been conditioned. A lot of times, and just in our humanity, is dead space is bad space,
right?
And we need to, like you said, take those times and see God doing something.
Yeah.
Around us, and it is like you said, it is a miracle. I think there's, people always say, I've never seen God do miracles. I mean, literally every day you get up, it's a miracle happening in front of you, with something that is unexpected, totally unexpected. I mean, just for you to get up in the morning, what in the world? I mean, you wake up and you have your first breath of the day, awake, and it's amazing that you're there. It's not like. You did anything. I mean, you were out of it for 8 hours, and there you are, awake and enjoying what God's brought into the world.
Yeah, and seeing the fruits of His work in your life, right?
Yeah.
Of going, you have a spouse who cares about you. You have family members who are who love you and want to be around you. Like, I just think that we say those things to count your blessings, but again, when I do think. Just going back to the idea of discipleship, what does it mean to be mature in my faith? Is to, when I have the big ask or I have the question mark in front of my life of what next, Lord, is to always go back to gratitude and always go back to the promises that God's fulfilled in the past in your life. And that's a sign of maturity, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I do think that there's something mature about there. I get the image of the kid in the grocery store screaming and crying at the checkout aisle because he didn't get the candy bar.
Right. Yeah.
His mom. But there's a cart full of groceries, kid.
Right.
Right. That there's provision in your life. There's this major thing, but you're not getting the thing that really in the end is probably bad for you anyway.
Right. You don't want it. Yeah. You
right.
Yeah.
So I just think that there's something for us in this series of discipleship, of maturity, of going, when the Lord speaks and speaks clear, act on it. And when the Lord isn't super loud in your ear, rest in Him, be with Him, and remember what He's done.
I think it's why, I mentioned on Sunday, that's why the in-between time is probably the best place to be in your Christian journey. The highs and lows, obviously, are those extremes, or those are things that are you can put on a calendar when they happen and when they didn't happen. But it's the in-between times when you really find that you're building your faith, growing in your understanding of who God is, and it really is a time where you can be silent yourself and see God do something and actually pay attention to what it is. Because in those other moments, you're really into that moment, right?
Yeah.
If it's a win, you're like all excited, celebration, and if you're in the loss, you're like, oh, woe is me, things are so bad.
Right.
But in between times, there's like there's nothing happening, and you're like, what is going on? That's when self-reflection is so important. That's when you become aware of so many other things that you weren't aware before. And that's a lot of times where God tends to show us stuff without even showing us stuff, because we're paying attention now. We're watching what's happening. Yeah. And like the children of Israel in chapter 14, where He says, stand still and just pay attention. Yeah. That whole phrase of standing still is the most difficult thing for us to do sometimes, because we don't like to wait, for one. But the other thing is that in that time we really grapple with some stuff, right? Yeah. We really grapple with so many things that we didn't have time to think about before, but now here we are thinking about it. And I think, for me personally, I think that's why people need to spend time in prayer, but not just sit there with a list of God, can you give me, but just spend time and let God speak to you in the silence, in the moment when you need to hear something. And you may walk away with all the answers you need, maybe just nothing, maybe it's just a reassurance again that He's with you. But that is so crucial, and especially in our day and age we live in today, because it's so loud. There's so much chaos, so much loud noise in the background. It's super difficult to even get those moments. And if you're a parent, man, it's even worse, because you have kids running around asking you 1,000 questions. Like, in our house, a lot of times we'd use the bathroom to go hide because you lock the door.
Sure.
And you could read or not deal with anything. But yeah, we've got to find those moments when we can get in the in-between period to really mature our faith in that. And God uses those things to do that. And you notice in Scripture, every time that happened with people, it was in the in-between time where God really grew them to prepare them for the next step, the next phase. And when they did that, they were prepared. They were ready. They knew exactly what they needed to do, and they were listening.
Yeah.
That's the other thing, is that it tunes our ears to God, as opposed to when we're in the midst of something and we're either on one end or the other of our journey. In that time, you actually are listening because you're waiting for the next thing to happen. What does God want me to do? So you're a little more sensitive to when God starts speaking to you.
Absolutely.
So, but you can get rid of all that by just rushing ahead even without God saying anything. And that's where we get in trouble, is because in the in-between time, instead of listening for what God's going to do, we're like, we're going to do our own thing.
Yeah.
There's Eli.
Hey, buddy. Yeah, I think it's that, I feel like everybody's so aware of the culture we live in is one of instant gratification and instant answers. And I think that there's the Lord is just on the other episode, on the total opposite side of that. There will be times of wilderness. There will be times of waiting. There will be times of, I don't know the answer, but I trust you. And being okay with that, I think, again, is that sign of maturity, and being able to, go to the Lord over and over and over again with just a steadfast faith of, you're going to speak, and I'm waiting for you, and you've been faithful, so I know you're going to be faithful now. And so, I think that's just a general good encouragement for the congregation, for folks listening today. And you did a great job, man. You shared some personal stuff of your journey too. Is it fair to talk about that here too? So you talked about your kind of the thorn in your side, right? As Paul would put it, of depression and mental health stuff. So how have you seen God, show up in the midst of that, and maybe just a general encouragement? Because it's been encouraging to you, right? You've had some folks reach out to you.
Yeah, my phone's been ringing off, texting off the hook, people wanting to talk about it. I think one of the things I wanted to reassure people is that mental illness, depression, those kind of things, it's not just it's not a problem we should not talk about it. It's not something we pray away all the time. Yeah, it's not something that we can just kind of pretend like it just go away if we have a better day. The truth is like I mentioned on Sunday, the way God showed me about mental illness and that kind of stuff is that it's no different than a broken arm, broken leg. Yeah, those things will eventually heal, but there is always still components of that still affecting your life. And in my life, when our son was born with cancer, that's when my mind broke. I had that moment when things happened, and it was in my family for many years. All the family members have had it in some form or fashion. And so, the reality was, initially I thought I didn't have enough faith. Like I wasn't a good enough Christian. Right. Something's wrong with this. So God started really speaking to me about it. And really my journey is that it took me from being sort of a snotty-nosed Pharisee to realize I need to have compassion for people that are going through it, because I'm going through it, and I don't have any way of dealing with it. So, God's really started bringing things into my life, like medications and doctors and psychiatrists and things, to help me to get it taken care of. And it was a godsend. It was difficult to accept that stuff and realize that, God, why, if I pray enough, that you'll take this away from me? He has not. I've been diagnosed for 20 years, still dealing with it. The thing was that when some of these texts have come back in, people saying, out of all the things I talked about on Sunday, that was like a real short aspect. But that's the one people really got involved with. And a lot of it is that they've gone through some church hurt because they bring out the fact that they're going through something, and then somebody that's not familiar with what's happening, says, well, just pray about it. Right. And, God will deal with it. You need
to go for a run more.
Yeah, you need to go for a run more, put more, have more fiber in your diet. Yeah, vitamin D.
So, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's not the case.
That's not,
when you're
inappropriate answer.
Right, we're talking about something that's far beyond just having a bad day. Yeah. We're talking about mental illness.
So and go too far down this trail today, but what's maybe for the person who doesn't struggle, but, wants to care for people well.
Yeah.
What is the better response than go for a walk or get more sunshine in your life?
Yeah, I think if it's a real issue, like if somebody's getting into suicidal thoughts,
sure,
which is usually one of the indications is of somebody that does have mental illness is self-destruction.
Yeah.
I say go get assessed.
Yep.
Go to the doctor, get an assessment done. Start there. Don't try. I mean, it's great to pray for them. It's great to share scriptures of peace and comfort. But we're talking about something that's broken. And if somebody had a broken arm, it's great you pray over their broken arm.
Yeah.
But the fact is you're still going to take them to the ER to get the cast put on or whatever, get the bone set. So you need to take them somewhere and have them deal with, what is happening in their mind before you can ever have conversations about God.
Sure.
Because there's no clarity.
Yep.
There's no clarity there. And I believe God can, don't get me wrong, I believe God can and remove this.
Yep.
He can heal you. He's done it. I've seen it in Scripture where people have been lost in that realm of, their minds have been gone and God brings them back.
Yeah.
That's great. I believe that too. But for the large majority of Christians, for whatever reason, we're stuck with those things still until we go to be with Him. And so go get assessed. And if you want to be a part of the process of helping them along, then you do. I mean, you help them understand their situation and love them anyways, and help them, begin to move in a better way to operate in life. Because when they start moving down that path of dealing with it, they themselves are going to have a lot of things change as far as reality, as far as how they interact with people, and those things are difficult, especially if in your depression you've had those super high mountain moments and then real lows, then all of a sudden you're at a medium. Now everything is kind of like it's tough.
Yep,
that's tough for that person to deal with, and so you want to just be there and support, and work through it that way. But God still, at least in my life, it was a good thing, because what was a part of my personality prior, and I didn't know, was the highs and lows.
Yeah.
When God leveled me out, it really made me a better thinker, a better person to interact with, a better father, a better husband. So it's not bad, but it's a process, it's a journey to get to that point. So
I think another thing to just remind people is your struggle with mental health is not because your spiritual life is poor.
Right.
So that's just some more shame to throw on you.
Right.
The enemy would like to do, and so that's just not worth doing.
Yeah, good point. Definitely don't take that road.
Yep.
And unfortunately, people that don't understand, they take that road really quick. Yeah. And it's not the way to go. And
can be well-meaning, right?
Yeah, I don't think anybody does it out of ill intent.
It's a really poor answer and can be detrimental.
Well, and that's right. You answered it right there. It's the answer. We don't have any answers. Mm-hmm. So the quickest answer we can come up with is, well, I'll just throw a bunch of Bible at it. Yeah. I'll throw a bunch of spiritual bumper sticker jargon that I picked up from the pastor, and it'll deal with the problem. And that's not where they're at.
No.
So we're just praying that when God begins to start moving in someone's life in that regard, first we got to clear up the it's a chemical issue. It's, the chemicals in your mind are not working the way they should. And so it's an imbalance that needs to be regulated. And once you get that taken care of, then all of a sudden clarity happens, and then you can start moving in the right direction.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah, and it's just part of everyday life, just like anything else. I mean, my wife and I were joking around about it after Sunday, and I said, for me, it's like if somebody lost their arm, and you go to the hospital and you're praying for them, you're like, God, can you, would you grow back that arm? Well, I believe in faith that God can do that, but the truth is, there's a good chance God's not going to grow back their arm.
Yep.
I don't know why. That's His will.
Sure.
But that person's not going to have to live with how do I deal with life without my arm on that side. And so it doesn't make any less of a Christian.
Right.
They're not any less of a use for the kingdom. They just have to learn a new reality. And so that's how I look at depression, is that, when it does happen and you finally do get it taken care of, that person now has to learn how to deal with life in a different way. And it is better for them. It's better for me, because if I am not doing what I'm supposed to do, I am not the person you want to be around.
Right.
Because then those things all come back into play.
Yeah.
So
well, and Paul talks about the thorn in his flesh, right? There's the guy who wrote most of your New Testament is dealing with something, and it's just this side of heaven, man.
Yeah.
It's just how to deal with humans.
It is what it is. And, you know, I believe that, you know, in my life, God has given me a very fulfilled ministry, a very fulfilled opportunity to share the gospel many times. Amen. And I don't feel like I was lacked anything. Right. But God worked through it.
That's awesome, man.
So.
Well, cool. Where are we heading? You get a twofer.
I get a twofer this Sunday. Yeah, I get to get ready to cross the water this
All right.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about the rod, but we're talking about making that next step.
Okay.
And cool, we're talking about verses 15 and 16 out of chapter 14. And God's next plan was for them to make the first step.
That's awesome.
Moving into the water.
Cool,
so that's where we're going to be.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I'm excited for it, buddy. It was a great sermon on Sunday. Encourage those who haven't listened. You can check it out on all things Harbor Light, our website and the app and YouTube and Facebook, and really worth listening to.
Two services you can choose from.
That's right.
The morning or the afternoon. Yeah.
That's right.
So get
it's going to be good this weekend too. Excited for it.
Yeah, this weekend we have
we got busy weekend for worship stuff. We got worship on the farm. Harbor Light's going to be out at the Berg Farm in Charlevoix.
Yep.
It's a pretty cool, unique very Northern Michigan unique event. It's free. Tracy's going to be there from Carolyn May Pies with her food truck. There's going to be the Cofields are going to be there. Brad Stewart's going to be there. Harbor Light Worship's going to be there.
Yep.
We're just really, really excited to worship with some folks in a pretty unique environment.
We're going to have the band there.
But it's going to be a lot of fun.
Who do we got? We got Brad
and AJ,
me, you,
Josh.
We
got Rachel and Maria.
You were gonna say what I was gonna say. I saw the
No,
you're like
not at all. I am a smart man. Not at all. It's gonna be a good time though. It'll be super fun, and then we're super excited to hear you preach. And you're gonna be without your wife, right?
She's taking off to Kentucky on Friday.
Be praying for that mission trip too.
Yeah, they're gonna be going down and do some disaster work down there.
Cool.
With Experience Mission, and so she'll be working with Carson because that's where he's at right now.
That's awesome.
I said lucky.
Yeah,
you know?
That's awesome.
I said while you're down there, check the 4Runner, make sure it's still together.
I know. Every time I'm like, are the Nortons here? Oh, yep. Nope, their car is not here.
I know. I told him the other day I'm going through withdrawals, man. I'm like, I miss my car.
Yeah.
He's like, it's fine. Don't worry.
This time of year, man.
Yeah.
Especially.
Don't worry about it. It's fine. I'm like, yeah, you don't understand. All right. We'll see you guys next week.
All right.
Talk to you later.
We want you to know, find, discover, change with us. More podcast ending transmission now.